Hey everybody, welcome to Mer Week 2018. I am so incredibly excited because we are celebrating the release of the box set omnibus of the Siren Wars Saga, Selena's entire trilogy. It's the first trilogy within the Siren Wars Saga, and the box set comes out on Tuesday. We are having a week-long celebration where we are hanging out with professional mermaids and mermen. We are doing a shell crown craft broadcast, and we even have a book release party, and we're kicking it off today with my first mermaid guest star. I'm so incredibly excited, not only because she has the coolest hair ever, but because she has the coolest videos ever. This is Abby at Mermaid Vlogs, and I am so excited to see her. Abby, how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me. This is too fun.
I love hanging out on air with people, and I love that you are so much fun and you're so prepared to be on video all the time. You actually started by doing mermaid videos, right? Is that how you got into mermaiding?
Yes. Well, I owned a company where I was doing mermaid parties to start, and then when I sold it, I kept the tail and wanted to figure out a different way to incorporate it into the mermaid space. And vlogging and video, you know, there wasn't just a ton of mermaids doing that, and so I felt like that was a great way for me to be unique and start a fun adventure that way.
That's amazing. Now, how long have you been doing mermaid vlogs?
So it's probably been 2 years now, I think. Started out with the How to Be a Mermaid 101 series, picking out, you know, the latest fashion trends and hair stuff. And now I'm kind of going into more of hanging out and interviewing my other mermaid friends, going to mermaid trips, but been vlogging about 2 years now.
And I know you have a ton of mermaid friends as well, because I have been seeing them all over your social media.
Yeah.
You have the most epic social media feeds ever.
Oh,
so,
gosh.
Tell me, how do you go about getting all of your amazing photos? Because I am just absolutely enchanted by all of your feeds.
Here's a big tip. Marry somebody that can take your photos for you. My husband is a full-time videographer, but he also, you know, with that skill comes, you know, some photography skills. And so he's been able to come with me on my adventures and help me with video stuff and help me take my photos. But, you know, I do social media for other people as well, so I understand the value that comes with quality content. And, you know, there's a lot of mermaids out there and you got to stand out. And so for me, I just really push myself to be the best and, you know, have my stuff looking top notch, because otherwise you kind of get lost in the mix.
Very true. And hey, if you are joining us live, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you showing up. If you've got questions, if you've got comments for Abby, drop them down below. We will be answering as many as possible while we are live here today. And if you're on a replay, we still want to hear from you. We will be checking those comments. We will be making sure that we get answers for you. And if you happen to have a really great question that we don't answer on air, I might just be able to convince Abby to come back and hang out with us again. So if you've got questions, if you've got comments, hit us up. And we are already in the comments. Connie is thrilled to pieces with your hair. And Jessica says it's even blowing in the wind. It's beautiful. So Abby, tell us all about your hair.
You know, the great thing about being a social media person is that you get to work with people and trade for stuff.
Yes.
So I work with a great company called Surreal Blowout Bar in Nashville, and they, you know, they have made my mermaid hair dreams come true, and have taught me how to do my hair. But this style, I've got extensions in, and it's purple, obviously. But this style, I use the Bedhead Wave Artist, so it's just like a crimper, like from the 80s, you know. So I use that to make these waves here, and it's super easy and lasts like forever. So.
That's amazing. I'm going to have to look into that now.
Yeah, girl, do it.
Elizabeth's saying absolutely beautiful, and that's awesome. And Kevin is saying, hey, Mermaid Vlogs.
Hey, bud. How are you?
Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you being live with us today. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, we want to hear from you. Drop a little love in those comments below. Now, Abby, I know you kind of go through different phases with your hair, because we're going back to hair. We have to.
Yes.
Tell me, how many colors have you had over the years?
Oh, girl, you know, it's just been a journey. I'm a brunette, like, in real life, but I've been blonde, I've been bright red. I was bright red for a while, because of, you know, Ariel.
Of course.
But I've all, you know, my hair has been blue. You know, I haven't gone the pink route, but I'm thinking about it.
Oh, you
But purple,
should.
yeah, girl. But purple's my favorite color, so I kind of wanted to do that. I kind of like I've got two shades, lavender and like a dark purple, so I kind of wanted to try that out, and I'm digging it, you know. I'm cool.
Yeah, I knew we were going to be friends. I'm a purple girl too.
Yes, girl.
Hey,
My
guys.
wedding was all purple.
No. Oh, I love it. Now I need to see pictures of this.
Totally. I'll hook you up.
Awesome. Jump down in the comments if you are live with us or on a replay. Let us know what your favorite color is. And if you were going to dye your hair a fun color, what color would it absolutely have to be? Now, Connie is in the comments, Abby, and she would like to know, what has been your favorite moment as a mermaid?
So I was talking about this with my mermaid friend, Lauren. You know, being a mermaid and performing and doing parties and stuff like that is always so fun. And I love it whenever parents at mermaid parties, you know, ask you questions to stump you almost, to be like, you know, are you really a mermaid or whatever? But like, it's my favorite pastime because improv is my jam. And so I love being able to like get with the parents and like totally like, you know, I am not thrown off. I'm going to answer all your questions. And yes, I'm a real mermaid. And so like being able to, yes, make the kids believe, of course, because that's the easy, you know, kids are easy to persuade, but the parents are really fun because, you know, they try and stump you. And yeah, I like to be able to answer their questions and kind of throw them off.
Well, I feel like now we have to put this out as a challenge to our viewing audience.
Yeah.
If you have questions that could potentially stump Abby, let us know in those comments below, and let's see what we can get her to answer.
Good times, y'all. Good
Oh,
times.
this is so fun. Now, Abby, how many mermaid tails do you actually have?
Well, I have a silicone, one of Mer Taylor's original versions of the silicone tail. So I've got one of those, and then I have his fabric tail, and then Fin Fun. I'm actually an ambassador for Fin Fun tails, so they send me one every month. So I've got quite a few, and I'm working to get another silicone one, hopefully to match my hair. Yeah, working on that, but I've got quite a few. My silicone one has been through so much, through parties and everything, so it's hanging up on the wall. It's, you know, seen some better days, but I've got a bunch of other ones that I like to wear, and it's all on my Instagram, so yeah. I'm sure you've seen it. They're everywhere.
I have. I definitely stalked your Instagram. Let me give a quick shout out because you are a Fin Fun ambassador, and I actually teamed up with Fin Fun. I'm doing some writing for their blogs now. And they are going to be joining us on Sunday because they have a little special something for our Mer Week fans as we are doing our Seashell Crown craft broadcast on Sunday. I'm exceptionally excited for this as I go to look for that in my notes here. I don't know where it is. Here we go. Sunday, October 7th at 3 p.m. for our Shell Crown Craft Day. We're going to have so much fun. We even have special guests, Annie Sullivan, who is the author of A Touch of Gold, which happens to have mermaids in it, and Tasha the Serpent Siren. It's going to be so much fun, and I hope you guys will come join us because Fin Fun does have a little special something for those of you who might be interested in your own mermaid tale.
Ah, very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to know, what if you can glow in the dark? Glows in the dark in like when you swim in underwater caves. So what would happen if your tail could glow in the dark if you swim in underwater caves?
I think that would be the best day ever.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be able to light it up and see probably some fish that haven't seen the light of day in a while. Yeah, that would be awesome. I need to talk to my mermaid tail makers about that. Get some tails that glow in the dark.
Absolutely. I feel like I actually just saw a company has a glow in the dark tail now.
Oh.
I feel like that was something I saw on Instagram.
We need to check that out for sure.
Right?
Yeah, that
would be so much fun. Oh yeah, for sure. Alyssa would like to know, do you have any mer cousins?
Of course I do. Listen, we're all connected in the mer world, so we're all family in my opinion. But yes, lots of mer cousins. I call them my mer sisters, you know, because that's what we all are. We're mer sisters and brothers for sure. But yes, lots of mer fam for sure.
Absolutely, and because I can, I'm just going to do a quick shout out to the Siren Wars Saga, where we actually do have mer cousins inside of this story. This is all about the royal mer family, and it focuses on one of the cousins who happens to spy for the queen and the princess, and we discover what happens when the sirens drag them into a war with the humans. So if you're looking for mer cousins, this is the one for you guys. Yes.
Do it.
Yes. And hey, because we're doing it, because we can, right now, if you are interested in the Siren Wars Saga, you can actually get the first book for free in ebook form right now on every single platform. Go to sirenwarsinfo.k.m.robinsonbooks.com to get your hands on a totally free copy of the first book inside of this trilogy. Connie would like to know, besides a tail, what's the #1 thing you need to be a mermaid?
I would say confidence. Being a mermaid, you know, there are people that don't get it, or you know, swimming and stuff with, you know, people around. You have to be kind of confident in who you are, and as a mermaid, it's really, you know, there are people that will be like, you're a weirdo, why are you doing this? But you know, just be confident in who you are, and that's going to make you the most beautiful mermaid of all, for sure.
Absolutely. Now, last week I was actually at the ocean. I was doing a bit of a workcation, and I may or may not have dragged my mermaid tail out to the beach, and the surfers may or may not have been staring. So I have to ask you, Abby, I know you've done some really gorgeous images out in the open, in public. Sure. Have you ever had any interesting experiences with that?
Yeah, girl. I mean, always. And I like to go early morning, or obviously late evening when the sun is setting or coming up, for my photo shoots. And there are always people walking the beach or whatever. I just, you know, I kind of stay in my mer character and wait till they kind of, you know, get far out before I, you know, detailify myself. But yeah, I mean, I've had people, but the great thing is, you know, people be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm a mermaid, you can follow me on Instagram. And they do. And so, you know, it's a great marketing and networking tool, honestly, to be out in public and be doing your thing. Yeah, I love it. And yeah, it's fun, and when people are around, that kind of, you know, creates a fun energy too.
That's amazing. Hey, listen, if you are joining us live, we are so incredibly excited that you are here. And if you're on our replay, we are thrilled to see you as well. We need you to do us a favor. We want you to jump down and click that share button if you are having fun here today, because that tells Facebook we're doing something good, we're doing something awesome, and they should be sharing this with more people. And when you click that share button and you tell Facebook that we're doing something awesome, they then share it with more and more people, which means I can do more and more things, like host things like Mer Week 2018, and we get more amazing people to join us, just like Abby. So if you are having fun, if you want to help us out, hit that share button and let Facebook know we're doing something amazing today. Connie is down in the comments, and she would love to know how long you're able to hold your breath, Abby.
I am not that great. Like maybe a minute and a half or something like that. It honestly just depends. And when I'm doing underwater photo shoots and stuff, I'm not moving as like fast or as hard, you know, so I can hold it for longer if I'm doing underwater photo shoots and just moving slowly through the water. But I'm not amazing at all, like in the slightest. But I feel like when I am down in the water, holding my breath and stuff, I try and make the most of the time that I am down there. So
that's amazing. Now, I recently saw on your social media that you had this great underwater picture of you and your sister. Is she somebody who kind of likes to get involved in this as well, or do you kind of have to drag her by her tail?
I kind of have to convince her, but you know, we were having a lot of fun in the tales while we were on family vacation. We actually did a whole series on Blake family vacation, so you should definitely watch those vlogs. But
amazing.
Yeah, that was the first time she had been in a tale. You know, we're 7 years apart, and so like until just like recently we kind of like have not been cool to each other. You know, like I'm not cool in her eyes or whatever, but now that we've kind of gotten older and you know, are actually friends now, she's wanted to like kind of jump in and try it. So yeah, she did great. That was her first time she'd ever been in a tail or done an underwater shoot at all, and so she did great for her first time. And those were good shots for sure.
That's amazing. I was just with my little sister. We're 2 years apart while I was on vacation, and she is pregnant, so she couldn't do the whole tail thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Put her feet in my monofin to try it. So that was pretty fun.
Totally. You got to do it. You have to.
Right? I ended up putting most of my family members in my tail at one point over the last month or so. So I think everybody's right on the tail now.
Yeah. Love it. That's so fun.
It is so fun. And I love that your family gets so involved in your videos as well.
Totally. I've been so blessed to have a family that's supportive of like whatever I do. You know, I moved away from home kind of earlier than they probably wanted me to, but they've always been super supportive, and in any adventure that I do, they've always been really supportive, and I've been so thankful to have a family that has been cool enough to let me live my dreams.
That is so fun. Connie, who happens to be an amazing author friend of mine, would like to know your thoughts on fairies and fae.
Girl, I'm all about that life. My mermaid friend Lauren, who actually does the Everyday podcast with me, performed as a fairy in LA while she was there, and like absolutely loved it. I actually, back in high school, we had a fairy club. So yeah, we had little membership cards that we would make and all that. So I'm all about that life.
I love this. So you've kind of been involved in the fairy tale realm for a long time then, haven't you?
It's where I like to live, for sure. You know, sometimes the real world is just not as pretty or as nice, and so I kind of like to escape into a world where everything's pretty and lovely.
As a fairy tale retellings author, I can support this.
Yeah, girl, I bet you get it.
I do. I so get it. And the costumes, amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Glitter for days.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I have a friend. She's not here right now. She was going to be, but I think somebody came up. She has a book coming out that is a Sandman retelling. She ended up getting a pound of glitter, and she's trying to do some giveaways for her fans, and it's glitter everywhere.
Oh my gosh. The best.
She's gonna have fun with that one for sure. Kevin would like to know, how do you feel every time you look down and see you with a mermaid tail instead of legs?
It's the best, you know, and honestly, I get the best of both worlds. In the words of Hannah Montana, I get the best of both worlds because I get to be a mermaid and a human. So it's pretty magical being able to, you know, see the tail, and I love it when I'm in the water swimming and can see my shadow as a mermaid. I just think that's kind of a magical moment to have.
Absolutely. Now, do you prefer being in places like the ocean or like an open lake or a pool?
So I'm all about creating like the imagery and content for like videos and photos and stuff. And so having any control over the lighting or the space is kind of where I like to live. Honestly, I love the ocean, and that's where I like want to be all the time, just in life. But if I'm creating content, I would much rather be in like a controlled space where we can control the lighting and kind of have some gauge on what it's going to be like and how we can alter it to do what we want it to do.
Fantastic. And I love that you have that background as well, because I am a professional photographer, and anybody who gets it, automatically my best friend.
Totally. Yeah, girl. I'm all about it.
We do have a question. What is the best thing about being a mermaid? And you can't say your mermaid shadow.
I think being the best thing about a mermaid, honestly, for me, I just enjoy pretty things in general, and just magic in general. And so, you know, for me, the best thing is just being able to create something that's beautiful, and there's this whole mermaid community around us that is supportive, and everyone's so different and so, like, you know, just very colorful and just all shapes and sizes. And so the fact that, you know, just being a mermaid is is awesome in itself, but also having a mermaid community to help support you and just kind of, you know, it's just the coolest thing to have such a crazy, awesome community around you. Are you there?
So sorry about that, guys. We did have a little bit of a glitch there, but I am super excited to see you back.
Hello.
Hi. Unfortunately, Facebook is doing some interesting things this week, and that does result in a couple of glitches. So apologies for that, but we're really excited to see each and every one of you still here hanging out with us. And Abby and I were just talking about the mermaid community. And Abby, I know you're very involved in the mermaid community, and I know that you do quite a bit for the community. And you just recently started a new little adventure within your brand. Can you tell us just a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah. So I've been doing the mermaid. Oh, I can hear myself. Is it echoing?
Let me turn my volume down.
Okay. Just want to make sure it's not like crazy echo. I've been doing the vlog for about 2 years and just recently ventured into the podcast space. It's called The Everyday Mermaid, and you can get it anywhere that podcasts are. We're on the Anchor app, so if you want to download the Anchor app, you can actually leave us voice messages through there, and we can talk about whatever it is that you leave us a voice message about. But the Everyday Mermaid podcast is just kind of going over the everyday life of a mermaid. Also, we have like a hashtag Jody moment for Jody Benson, and just talking about like what it means to be a mermaid, and if I can have other mermaids that are in the community help support them through the podcast. That's kind of what I'm thinking with that. But it's with my Mer gal pal Lauren. She was in the Bath and Body Works video that I did in the bathtub. So it's with her, and we're super pumped about it. We're shooting some more episodes very soon, but we've got 2 up now, and one's about to debut this afternoon. So lots of good things happening over there.
And I am very excited. I actually have not heard the podcast yet, but now I'm going to have to download other episodes, go through them all. Such a big fan of podcasts. So I cannot wait to hear all about being an everyday mermaid. Hey, listen, guys, we are wrapping up our episode in the next couple of minutes. If you have any last-minute questions, now is the time to hit us up. I see that Kevin wants to know, what is the difference between being a mermaid before joining the mermaid community and then after joining the entire mermaid community?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, when I first started, I really didn't know that there was such a huge mermaid community out there. And so I didn't necessarily feel like alone in the space, but, you know, when you are a mermaid and you kind of figure out, oh, there's other people here. It's just, you know, it kind of puts you at ease a little bit to know that there are other people out there like you, that you're not the only one, and that, you know, we can, you know, enjoy these things together. So, yeah.
And I'm a big fan of the mermaid community. I recently jumped into the mermaid community because of my books. I had all of these amazing professional mermaids find me, and then I became friends with all of them, and now you get to meet a whole bunch of them during Mer Week. So we have a bunch of people coming to hang out with us this week. I'm incredibly excited about it. We're going to tell you more about that in just a minute. But before we sign off for today, Abby, any last-minute thoughts on people who are interested in becoming a professional mermaid?
Totally. I think, you know, obviously, you know, I think people think that just because you have a tail that you're like all set to go, but, you know, it's super important for you to really, you know, figure out what your message is and why you're becoming a mermaid. I think that a lot of people, you know, want to do it because it's cool, or, you know, because it's the, you know, the latest trend or whatever. But a lot of the mermaids in this community have like amazing messages that they want to send, and, you know, I just want to bring joy to people and be able to support other people through my talents. And you know, I feel like a lot of people are saving the ocean conservation. You know, find out what your message is, and really stay true to who you are, and that's gonna help you in the long run, help you stay true to who you are, and yeah, make a long time effect on people.
Fantastic. And if you are interested in becoming part of the mermaid community, I might just have a little something to help you out. Because we are celebrating Mer Week, and because we are celebrating the release of the Siren Wars Saga box set omnibus, no, I didn't just hit myself with my book. It's all good. I do have a little bit of a game for you guys, and I would love for you to take a look at it. Now, like I said, Facebook is working on some things internally, which means there are a couple of glitches. And I know that as of this morning, the bots on Facebook were not necessarily working correctly, but we are going to give it a try, and I'm going to let you know because on the replay, you should be able to access this, even if you can't access it live. And so I have a brand new interactive choose your own adventure game for you to play right now. All you have to do is type Mer Siren Quiz into the comments below. Now, when you type Mer Siren Quiz into those comments, I will pop up in your direct message inbox, and you're going to get to play through a game to see if you are a mermaid or a siren. And then you can get your hands on a copy of my book to see if you really do fit with the mermaids or with the sirens. Let me know. What do you think you're going to end up, a mermaid or a siren? Let us know in those comments, and type Mer Siren Quiz into those comments now to play the game right this very second in your direct message inbox. Lots of comment love here today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We do appreciate this. Before we go, Abby, tell everybody where they can find you.
I am at Mermaid Vlogs on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can follow me there. And if you want to listen to the podcast, we are the Everyday Mermaid Podcast. So that is where you can find me. And I'd love for everybody to DM me and let me know that you tuned in. And I send you some mermaid mail.
That's amazing. And I cannot wait to check out your podcast. I'm so excited for this, especially since I don't think there are any other mermaid podcasts, not that I know of anyway.
Yeah, there's a few, but this is a little different than what's out there, for sure.
Well, I am super excited. I cannot wait to check it out. And if you have not followed Abby on social media yet, make sure that you do. Hers is one of my absolute favorite accounts of mermaids, but in general as well. So make sure you are hitting her up over on social media and let her know that you saw today's Mer Week interview broadcast. Connie says she can't sing, so she thinks she's a mermaid. I love that logic, Connie. I do love that logic. And Kevin says he's more of a creature from the Black Lagoon. All right, Kevin.
All right. Hey, whatever floats your boat.
Yes. So I hope you guys will take a look at that game. I'm very excited about it. Abby, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate you being here and bringing your beautiful hair with you.
Yeah, girl. Anytime. This was so fun.
This is so much fun, and I cannot wait to do it again. I would love to have you back on the show. I might just have something in the works I'll tell you about later that I think you're going to enjoy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you following Mer Week, I am incredibly excited because we have a full week packed with professional mermaids, mermen, and we're even doing a shell crown craft broadcast. This is going to be on Sunday at 3 p.m. It's going to be so much fun. We've got special guests, Annie Sullivan, who is the author of A Touch of Gold from Harper, and it is going to have some mermaids in there. We're also going to be hanging out with Katja, the Serpent Siren. She is from the Circus Siren pod of mermaids, and we're going to be hanging out making seashell crowns together on air. I'm going to teach you step by step how to make these gorgeous crowns. And then you can join me on Tuesday, October 9th at 3 o'clock Eastern, guys, Eastern, for our box set launch party where you can get a behind-the-scenes look at the first full complete trilogy in the Siren Wars Saga series and a bonus exclusive prequel novella from everyone's favorite brooding merman. And we get to see who he was before the Siren Wars takes place. I cannot wait to see you guys there. We are going to have special guest star Mermaid Tasha joining us. We're going to be doing games, giveaways, there are party gifts, and all sorts of fun, fabulous things. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, but I am going to be going through the comments because every single mermaid interview during Mer Week will have one winner win a special prize pack from me. I may or may not have collected some fun things at the beach for you guys while I was there. And you're going to get a special little beach trinket bag from me. So the more comments you leave, the better off your chances. If you are on our rebroadcast, leave us a little comment, love, because this is going to be running until the end of Mer Week. Thanks for all the love in the comments. We do appreciate that. And tomorrow, you can actually join me as I do 2 different mermaid interviews. We're going to be hanging out with Mermaid Tasha at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then we are going to be hanging out with Mermaid Morgana. Both of these ladies are from the Circus Siren pod. I know you're friends with Morgana. It's going to be lots of fun to hang out with her. And if you guys remember, about a month ago, I actually did a real quick interview with Morgana live from a Renaissance fair. So you can actually check that out and then join us tomorrow as both Morgana and Tasha join us for more interviews. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to see these ladies. And this was a great way to kick off our Mer Week. One more time, if you want to get your hands on a free copy of the first book in the Siren Wars Saga, you can actually go to sirenwarsinfo.k.m.robinsonbooks.com and get that ebook for free on all of the platforms right now. And then you can go to Siren Wars Selena info to get the pre-ordered copy of both the print version and the ebook version of the first complete trilogy inside of the Siren Wars Saga that tells Selena's complete story. Now, books 4, 5, and 6 will be coming out early 2019 with a brand new mermaid who we do meet in this series, and we're going to see some old friends, you know, the ones that survived the book. And we're going to be seeing all sorts of fun, fabulous things in the continuation of the Siren Wars Saga. But this tells Selena's complete story, plus that exclusive bonus Merrick novella, which I cannot wait for you guys to read for the very first time ever. You cannot get it anywhere else. And you can pre-order it by going to sirenwarsselenainfo.k.m.robinsonbooks.com. I'm K.M. Robinson, author of the Siren Wars Saga, the Golden Trilogy, the Jaded Duology, the Legends Chronicles, Virtually Sleeping Beauty, the Goose Girl and the Artificial, the Sinking, the Revolution of Jack Frost, and like 20 other books that I don't remember right at this very moment. You can check me out by going to k.m.robinsonbooks.com, and you can hit up merweek.k.m.robinsonbooks.com for more information on the entire schedule for Mer Week. We're going to have a great time, lots and lots of fun, lots of giveaways, and some fabulous books to go with it. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here, and I will see you tomorrow for our next Mermaid interview. Bye, guys.
Bye.